Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So I'm going to do this as a bit of a faction war stroke, just kind of knowledge gap. We're going to go through all of the factions and call out who are the top 3 epics in that faction that are going to help you blow your way through faction wars. And actually doing the kind of prep for this, it's really interesting how lopsided some of these factions are. So let's just kick straight into it. Bannerlords. Bannerlords has got a ton of crap epics, but going in 3-1. So I actually think third place epic Seneschal to help you get through faction wars. We have got a leech on the A1, which means that everybody that attacks someone that's got a leech on will heal. Staying alive is paramount in faction wars, as well as revives. He's got very good base stats to keep him tanky, and he can hit pretty hard as well. Gives out some Veil buffs. For me, really solid faction war champ. Number 2 is going to be Oathbound. Oathbound, since he had his update, his patch, is actually now solid. Really good champ. Again, very good base stats, high defense. He's got a freeze on his A1. He's got an AoE decrease attack, helps you keep alive on his A2. Also some turn meter reduction here. And he's also got a 4-hit at random block cooldown skills. This means that he puts everybody's skills on cooldown. This is insane. It means they can only use their A1. This is brilliant. It's a brilliant ability. So all those 3 together make him a bit of a meathead now for faction wars. Easily number 1 is Stag Knight. Because of this A2, decreased defense and decreased attack on the same move. AoE, 95% chance to land it if you book it. Easily the best carry for faction wars. High Elves then. High Elves have got actually some very good champs. For me, I'm putting in number 3. There might be some raised eyebrows at this, but Vergis now, since his buff again, insane. Loads of ally support, self-healing, self-shielding going on. Again, really good base defense, good base speed. Everything's based on defense now, so that he can actually do a bit of a hit as well. Really solid faction war champ. Second place is going to be Royal Guard. He brings the nukes, guys. You can't discount someone that brings the nukes. I've got 2 Royal Guards, both built really well. I would only use 1 for my faction war team. But yeah, brings the nukes, sits people down. That's what you need. First place, is Tyrell. Easily the best. AoE, decreased defense. You have to have it in your faction war teams. He brings it, makes him easily the best champ. Single target decreased attack as well for those boss fights, and a turn meter reduction on his A3. Great base stats, easily the best epic in High Elves. So, Sacred Order then. Sacred Order is a tough one. Really tough. They have got tons of epics and pretty much tons of trash. It is a crappy faction. So I've gone, and this is going to be really up for grabs. I had to think long and hard about this. This Frostbringer almost came into my mind as third place because of the utility speed up and increased attack. And it may be that she should be there as an honourable mention. But for me, third place goes to Mistress of Hymns. And I call her Mistress of Trash. So, my mind is boggled when I have to say these words. But basically, she's got an ability to revive 2 allies with half health and a veil. And the whole thing with faction wars is you need to 3-star your different levels to get the rewards, yeah? So if at the end she comes in with this clutch double revive and she can keep herself alive, she's got kind of good base stats, even with all the rest of this crap going on in her kit, I think she's actually a great faction war champ. So unbelievable that I'm having to say it, but I think for faction wars, she steps up. Second place, I've got Talia. Talia, brilliant base stats. She hits like a truck. She's got an AoE weaken, and she's just got a ton of damage herself. Really solid Sacred Order champ, especially considering they do not have a decreased defense AoE champ in their epics or in their rares. So, if you're struggling and you don't have Venus, where's your decreased defense coming from? Seriously, it's tough. Or a best, probably. But, yeah, so bringing an AoE decrease, an AoE weaken, is kind of the next best thing. So she steps up. And then for me, I'm bringing in Cardinal. It's void, but it's so good. Revives all dead allies, heals them to 25% HP, and gives them max turn meter. She is clutch for Faction Wars. Absolutely clutch. So she's got to come in as number 1. Let's go for Barbarians then. Barbarians, again, a lot of epics and a lot of trash in this account, in this faction. I've used pretty much all of them. You know, some of the worst in the game, Mr. Jotun. But we have got a few good ones. So actually, the freebie comes in as my number 3. Hykertoon is brilliant. She's a brilliant champ. For a 30-day champ, she's actually insane. I probably overlooked her for a while, but she is insanely good. Especially for Faction Wars, especially for sort of general utility. Speed, turn meter reduction, decreased speed, speed in all battles, good base stats. Everything about her kit is actually very solid. So she comes in 3rd place. 2nd place, we've got Vala. Vala can keep herself alive. She's got insane base defense. She can hit like a truck as well. She does have an AoE big version decreased defense. She gets a bit overshadowed by War Maiden in this category because her chances to land it are way less. Way less. War Maiden books up to 100. She books up to 50%, which is not great. But she can keep herself alive. She's got this passive that gives her a shield. Good champion. Good Faction War champ. And my number 1 for this faction is Sky Touched. So although she's chilly, although she's got a fancy old headdress on, she's actually got a very good Faction War kit. She has got block all debuffs from all allies and puts revive on death. For some of the boss fights, this is insane. Block debuffs on some of those boss fights is actually clutch. Decreased speed on herself and a fear on herself, but basically she's healing. She's healing all allies every turn. Every turn, it's massive. It's massive. So as long as you get some regeneration going on her, it's a huge ability. And then she's got an AoE ability on her A1, heals by 15% of the damage she does if she's got less than half health. So again, massive heal mechanics. Really, really cool champ. Let's move on then. Ogre Tribes, very few. Look at the difference in numbers, but actually some solid ones. So 3rd place, we've got Shatterbones. Shatterbones got a triple hit, turn meter reduction A2, massive ability. He's got a decreased speed on all enemies and fill turn meter of all allies by 25% A3, massive turn meter swing again. And he's just got an increased attack on all allies on his A2. He actually overlooked a lot. This champion is great. High base attack, does a ton of damage, good base speed, and a load of turn meter manipulation, which is what you want for Faction Wars. Coming in at number 2, it's going to be Maneater. Maneater, similar sort of thing in terms of good buffs for his team. This guy actually does unkillable and block debuffs. Massive for boss fights. Full turn meter depletion of a single target, and he steals it all. Massive ability. And then AoE decrease attack if you get his crit up. Huge ability for Faction Wars. Good base stats. Easily a top 2 champ. Number 1's got to be Skull Crusher. I mean, he's just so insane for an epic. One of the few that's got this counter-attack. The only epic with counter-attack for his team. He becomes unkillable, and he's got ally protection. And he's got a decent hit in A1. It hits for a lot of damage. He's also able to just like shrug off debuffs. So if he's got a freeze on him or a stun on him, he'll just shrug it off and he'll go again. Very, very cool Faction War champ. Let's go Lizardmen then. Look how few there are in Lizardmen. I mean, compare that to Sacred Order. It's bonkers. It's bonkers to me. How can there be so few? So Lizardmen, this is going to surprise a lot of people, I think. But 3rd place is Shizou for me. Shizou can throw a provoke out there. So he's got good high defense. You can make him tanky. He can provoke the worst target into him. He can put a shield on someone else and make them counterattack. So if you've got someone in life still dear that you're trying to keep alive, put this on them and they'll just keep counterattacking and get their life back. Double hit on his A1 as well. Good base stats. Actually quite a good champ. We've then got 2nd place, Jared. Jared has got ally protection, increased defense. He's got the ability to put some heals out, and he's got decreased attack A1. He's kind of like a tank mode, keep people alive, support champ. So he's got an all battle aura as well, which is nice. Really good champ for Faction Wars. If we then look at my number 1, I never thought I'd be saying this. Broadmoor. Broadmoor's number 1, guys. He's won it. He's won the competition. Very good base stats. He's got kind of like a nothing A1, a bit of a freeze. It's okay. He's got a bit of buffage on his A2. But it's all about this. Revives 2 dead allies with 25% HP and block damage on them. It's massive. For Faction Wars, it's huge. Put it down to 5 turns. You'll be getting your 3 stars a lot of the time because of this guy. Absolutely insane for Faction Wars. So let's keep going then. Skinwalkers. Again, quite a lot of epics here. Most of them are crap. Terrible epics. So we've got coming in 3rd place. And I had to struggle. I was like, who is coming in 3rd? Is it one of these rubbish bears? I ended up going with Flesh Terror. So Flesh Terror has got an AoE ability here. Decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by a turn and increases your buffs by a turn. For Faction Wars, this is actually pretty cool. So if you're up against those Vault waves and you're trying to just rip off their counterattacks, he's the guy that can do it for you. He does have a heal as well. He doesn't hit very hard, really. He's got pretty bad base stats. But the heal and that ability here, both of them together are actually pretty cool. We've then got 2nd place. It's going to be Basher, part of the Fusion right now. Very, he's got reasonable base stats, very high base attack. He's got this ability here. Attacks all enemies, increases the cooldown of all target skills by 2 turns. It's massive. Massive to get yourself through the waves. Make sure this guy goes before your enemies go. Make sure that you run his turn count down whilst you're killing the waves so that this is backed for the next wave. Always do it. Back for the next wave, back for the next wave, and you'll find that you just cruise your way through Faction War levels. He's got a weaken on his A1. It's okay. He's got block buffs on his A3 as well, which is pretty cool. All in all, great champion for this. Number 1 comes out of Steel Skull. Crazy base stats, increased defense, and heal. Heal and cleanse, poisons. He's actually an insane champ. He's an insane champ. He won't do all the damage for you. He does have a bit of poison for the boss fights, but his utility is just kind of second to none. And he brings an all defense faction crypt aura, which is insane. So, very good champ. Orcs. Orcs have got good epics. Good epics. Very, very difficult to decide who to pick here. This might be where you decide to actually get your Shaman out of the vault and use her because she's got the revive. This might be where you decide to get your Vrask out of the vault and let him do the healing for you. And to pick a top 3 here was hard because there's 4 champs which stand out to me as top 3 potential. And they are Seer, Sandlashed, Zargala, and Ultimate Gaelic. Now, I've gone for top 3 being... This is really difficult. It's really difficult. I've gone 3rd place Zargala. You need decreased defense. She brings you AoE decreased defense. She hits hard. She's quite difficult to keep alive, though. And that's why I wasn't sure whether to throw her in. But decreased defense is so strong, I don't think you can't throw her in. I've then gone for 2nd place Sandlashed. Sandlashed, defensive champion. She keeps people alive with this ally protection block damage. She's got an AoE here, which increases buffs. And she's got a provoke. She's actually mental for Faction Wars. And 1st place is Ultimate Gaelic. Now, I know there's going to be people crying in their milk that Seer is not top 3. I get it. She should be, but I don't know where to fit her in. Where do you fit her in right now? This guy, for boss fights, is a beast. He's got AoE HP burn, which is kind of cool. Also some turn meter reduction. More turn meter play here. And more turn meter play here. You can't not have him as 1st for Faction Wars when you're trying to take down bosses and you're trying to deal with their turn meter. He's top. He's top. I'm sorry, guys. That's where he is. Which means that she is sitting out wondering what happened to her life. And she is an insane champ for Faction Wars. So probably 4 people fitting into a top 3, really. But yeah, Orcs have got a lot going on. Demon Spawn then. Demon Spawn, we have got 3rd place is going to be Padma. Now, this is tough. So really what I want to say is Padma and Umbral third and second, but it means I'm picking out 2 voids. And there's definitely like an honourable mention here for Nazana. Nazana's got ally protection, she's got shielding, she's got an AoE decrease attack. Maybe she comes in third and Padma comes in as kind of like a lonely fourth. Because she is very solid here. Very solid, good champion. Second place then we're going to have Umbral. She's got AoE block buffs, massive for that Valk wave, for the for any counterattack waves, for any kind of huge buffing waves. She's also got an unkillable provoke, so insane ability here on her A3, and then she hits hard on her A1. I would put her in lifesteal gear. She's going to take a lot of flak here. You want to make sure she heals back up. And then first place is Allure. Allure is that clutch, a bit like the Ultimate Gaelic. She will just keep turn meter down on the bosses all day long. She's hard to keep alive. You need to protect her. That's why Nazana maybe comes into the team as that other spot. She can protect her. A1, just need to make sure you do crits and get your accuracy up, and she will drop turn meter all day. Decreased defense, small version here, but it's still okay. And then a bit of a nuke here. But yeah, very good champ. Easily top. So we're on to Undead Hordes. Undead, lots of epics and actually lots and lots of good champions here. Lots of good champions. And again, there's probably going to be people that are upset about this selection because it could have been Seeker, it could have been Ultimate Elhain, it could have been Khatun Counselor easily. So they're probably like the 3 call-outs for me that I didn't select that I could have selected. Even Zelatar could have been in the mix. But I've gone for third place, Husk. Husk has got AoE stun. Do not underestimate AoE stun. It's a very unusual ability on an epic. And one, it hits damn hard, but also it just completely cuts people up. 60% chance, 3 out of 4, 2 or 3 out of 4 of the enemies, 3 out of 5 of the enemies are going to be stunned, doing nothing. That's why he's so good. He's also got a big hitter on his A3, and he's got a provoke on his A1. So all in all, great champ. Second place is going to be Morsley and Mage. Could easily have been top. Increased crit, increased defense, block debuffs, all on one ability is actually huge. Huge ability. He's also got this ability to cleanse all of the debuffs off his team and heal them. Massive for Faction Wars. And he's got a decreased speed here. First place, though, has got to be Dordrab. So Dordrab has got the revives. Yeah, revives all dead. So if you're trying to get those 3 stars, boom, he comes in clutch with the revive. He's got fill turn meter and buff. And then a chance to remove a buff. Very good champ. Good base stats. Just build him as an absolute tank and speed merchant. And keep your team alive. Easily #1 epic for Undead. Dark Elves then. Dark Elves, fewer here. I would say it would be very simple just to say 3 voids, top 3. Easily it would be so simple to do that. But actually there's some other good stuff going on over this side. Certainly for Faction Wars. So I do have to call out Lua and Sylar as 2 great champions here. But they're not going to be in the mix for this. We're going to go third place, Spider. Spider has got AoE, decrease attack. Massive ability. He's got an AoE, but it's a place. Places debuffs. Places decrease defense and weaken. It's massive for Faction Wars, guys. Huge ability here. And because it's places, you can't get weak hits. So you just need the accuracy to land, and it will land. You don't need to try and actually physically hit them. So this is massive ability. And then he's got an A1, which can remove a buff. Okay base stats. Actually not great base stats. Hard to keep him alive, but he's very good. Very good champ. Second place, I've got Luria. Luria's got an AoE freeze. It's a massive ability again. Completely locks out the enemy team. Huge ability. Not too bad base stats. Good attack. Good speed. A little bit low on defense. So again, quite difficult to keep her alive. She also does the block revive. So on those boss ads, she'll just nuke them and sit them down. Block buffs here. Single target. Weird kind of A1. Can do a multitude of things. But all in all, good utility champ that can hit pretty hard. First place has got to go to Madame Cerise. I cannot not put her as first place because she's insane. She's basically a legendary. AoE, drop defense and attack in one move whilst removing all buffs. Mental. Chance to remove more buffs here and throw fears out. If she attacks someone, she's got a 1 in 3 chance of putting a fear on them. She self-shields, good base stats, easily number 1. The other call out I would guess, for 2 other good ones. Captain Tamelia, very good. Crimson Helm, very good. So, all in all, massively great faction for epics here. And for rares, actually. Night Revenants then. Night Revenants is, again, a very tough faction because they've got really, really good champs. So the honourable mentions here are going to go to Sepulchre. Insane champ, guys. I can't believe she's not in my top 3, but Sepulchre, honourable mention. Senacia, honourable mention. Both of them insanely good, but I can't put them in top 3 because 3rd place we've got Doom Priest. She is cleansing any debuff off you at the start of every turn, and she heals every turn. Get a speed high, get that roll in fast, and it's insane. She's also got a speed for 4, so I guess it's not that relevant. It's okay. She buffs people's attack, and she's got a reasonable A1. But she's all about this. This passive is insane. Get a speed high, get a defense high, and she'll just keep rolling that passive round. 2nd place is going to be Skullcrown. She brings a lot of nukes. She brings AoE weaken, double hitter here. She has got a passive which makes her unkillable as well, so she's easier to keep alive. She's just your nuke. She's out and out damage. Great champ. 1st place though is the monster, miscreated, insane champion, guys. Should be a legendary as well. AoE, stun, and shield to your team. AoE protection and heals. Fears, stuns, decreased defense, everything in his kit is insane. Easily number 1. So last faction then, guys, Dwarves. Very few Dwarves in the faction, but actually some really good ones. So 3rd place for me is Rockbreaker. Rockbreaker's got an AoE taunt, provoke, and he counterattacks at the same time, so he's going to go back and give him a whack, and he hits hard. Good champion. It's got a reduction of damage coming into him on this ability as well. And this ability just keeps stacking defense, so very cool. 2nd place is going to be Gala. Gala is your nuke. She brings the pain. She brings the hammer. She absolutely slams people. So she came in as my 2nd place. And she does some self-shielding, ignore defense stuff. She hits really hard, but she's a bit difficult to keep alive. You kind of need a Maulie to go with your Gala if you're trying to get very far, because she will revive as well. But that's a tougher thing to get. Grizzled, though, is my number 1. AoE, or full team, block debuffs and increased defense. You cannot underestimate how strong this ability is. AoE decreased attack as well. And then a heal reduction on his A1. Good base stats. Great champion. So guys, that is my top 3 epics per faction. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you later.